Hello, 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 K-Man. Welcome back to another Joey Ebanks radio show right here on Vibe 98.9 FM. What? You didn't think I'd be here this evening? Of course I'm here. Let me tell you, I had my interview today with the RCIP, and I just want to shout out to all the RCIP officers, everyone in the rank below the Commissioner of Police. Commissioner of Police, Duncan Taylor, those guys, no shout out for you. So, I go to the police station at 11, financial crime unit. And my attorney and I, we get into the interview with the RCIP. And we go through the interview simply because I guess Duncan Taylor or David Baines or whomever, Dan Scott, I don't know, C4C members, somebody, gave this list that CNS has on it to my political opponent, Ezra Miller, well in advance of me and my attorney seeing it. And so my comment to everything was no comment. So we have to prepare now for what I was charged with today. And there is some 30 charges I've been charged with today. And I've been told that there might be some more to come, or there will be some more to come. So, folks, it's 30 charges. I got these charges. I was bailed to appear in court on Tuesday. And then I guess the courts will make a decision. My attorney and the prosecutor will decide with the judge when the trial starts. I'm actually looking forward to it now. I have to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that I'm much more relaxed now. I'm relaxed now because I've seen what they're proposing as my criminal acts. And I'm very comfortable with these. I don't know what else is coming, but every single one of these, I have evidence that I can refute every single one. So I'm much more relaxed. I'm a bit more happy. And it hit me today when I left, and I went to Savannah Primary School to pick up my youngest son. He was having cricket practice, and it hit me that, I think this thing is getting close to being over. One of the other things that hit me was the fact that I'm really happy that this is happening to me and not to someone else, because this kind of abuse of power is just way out of hand, Let me give you an example of what I mean. One of these, for example, there's 7 counts of theft, and those 7 counts relate to checks. One of these checks is even made out in someone else's name, signed by someone else, cashed by the person whose name is made it off, and my name appears nowhere on it, and I'm being charged for that too. My text messaging, my phone use, my roaming charges. So, I really need to go and get my driver's license renewed so that they don't go and dig in licensing and try and charge me for that too. So, folks, this is just all political. So, I'm not going to spend a lot more time on Taylorism anymore. Quite frankly, because it isn't worth the time for a big man like me to consistently chastise this little boy. It's time to put him behind us now. We have some serious national issues we need to talk about. How we're going to fix this country. I have a campaign to go and win against dimwit Ezard. So it's time to move on now. And I'm looking forward to my day in court. If at any point in time my attorney and I don't feel that we can get a fair trial here, then we'll fight to prevent from being tried here. Because I'm still not certain that that's going to be possible, a fair trial. I had an attorney say to me a couple of days ago that, it seems the judiciary is somewhat split in two because of some warrants that are being executed, arrest warrants that are unlawful. And there's some cases going on, and more of this is surfacing now, the corruption, and people are taking a stand. People are saying enough. We want to deal with this corruption and end it in our country. And we're going to end it, folks, we're going to end it from the top down, not from the bottom up, because here's what happens when you go from the bottom up. People have a tendency to get enough of it and let the people at the top go free. So let's start at the top and bring it down. That way, if you get tired along the way, we would have taken out the main culprits. So, some of you may have seen the press release from the company, Navasota, out of the United States, out of Texas. And they issued a press release in respect to the DECO and DART and the 36 megawatt generation bid. As you all know, I've been advocating for an independent investigation team. I wanted to have independent investigators on the team. The ERA board, and of course, I guess Taylor wants to have that one local accounting firm conduct the investigation. I mean, there is no local firm that can handle this investigation and be unbiased. The country's just too small. There literally is no business in Cayman that is not some way positively or negatively influenced by DART. So it's impossible. And this is the guy where I'm making the accusations again. And you know what, Taylor? Here's what you need to do, because I'm making these accusations here and now against Mark Scotland and Klein Glidden as well. So here and now I'm saying I'm going to show the people of this country with an independent investigation how your two cabinet ministers are involved in this DECO bid and which board members from the ERA are involved in it. So I'm really happy that Navasota has chosen to support me and require an independent investigation occur. So we're going to start digging into this. And by the way, Taylor, you can bring some more charges if you like, because this 30 I can deal with in my sleep. But here's my advice to you, buddy. The election day is May the 22nd. I do recommend that you take a flight and vacation somewhere around about the 20th and leave the country. Call in and find out how the election results were. Take David Beans with you too, the Commissioner of Police. Because let me tell you, we're going to win this election. We're going to get the majority of the House. And you, sir, you're going to have to walk a step from wherever you are to the airport. And it doesn't matter where the flight that's there is going. You need to get on that and leave our country. You want to charge me 30 times? Well, here's my charges against you. You've interfered. You've tried to destabilize with your public utterances against this country's first premier. You've attempted to poison the jury pool against him. You've attempted to cause the jury pool to be poisoned against me. You're handpicking political candidates that you want to muzzle and you want to prevent from getting elected. You're supportive of other candidates. You're twisting rules around and trying to use your position to determine the outcome of this upcoming election. And I'm not going to let you do that. And I'm not going to let you or C4C get away with that. People, the C4C team is connected to Duncan Taylor. There is absolutely no doubt in my mind, okay? We know from the Compass article that the current chairman of the Legal and Judicial Commission settled out of court a settlement where a company's assets were placed in his control before the case was even finished in court. When the case was over, when the owner of that company wanted his assets back, they could not be returned because they had already been sold. So there was an out-of-court settlement for that. Now, you explain to me, if Duncan Taylor and Dan Scott are not connected, why is this gentleman still the chairman of this commission? And I guess, and why would the two guys who are in charge of the judiciary threaten to sue me, and one go as far as to send letters to every single media house in this country, threatening them if they do not let them see my statements first for approval? I am a candidate in this election, and they're being muzzled. They're attempting to prevent the media from printing any statement that I say. What they didn't count on? They didn't count on the fact that I would have this radio show. They didn't count on the fact that you, the people, would get sick and tired of corruption and people intervening from the top. People treating us like we're absolutely nothing. That our only purpose in this country and on this planet is to consume their goods and services so they make more money. They didn't count on that. And now it's turning around. I can tell you, folks, that yes, it's 30 charges. In fact, it might end up being 100 before all is said and done. I get my day in court. But that's designed to shock and awe you. Shock and awe you. Oh, must be one got stick. Well, I can tell you that there is none that I cannot produce evidence for. So I want to make it clear that I'm looking forward to being able to sit down with my attorney now, build our case, produce the evidence that we need, and ensure that this country knows that I am no thief. We went through this 4 years ago. We're here again. I was in charge then. I'm being charged now. But I can assure you that I will win every single case, every single charge made against me. I want to let you all know as well, folks, that everything I say on this show, this is my show. I paid for this. This is my show. All liability, I assume. And I'm saying that for the good of Maples and whomever. And by the way, Maples, I have, in fact, begun to draft a letter to the United Nations. And I've gotten 2 copies of the letter you sent to the medium. And I'm sending it to the United Nations so that they can take a look at how you as a law firm, acting on instructions of your client, is attempting to interfere with the democratic process here. I'm also pointing out what you've threatened to sue me with on behalf of Mr. Dan Scott, and that all I've said is in the compass, is in the offshore alert. It's all there. That's where I got it from, doing research. So, gentlemen of Maples, you're not the only people that can do research anymore, you know. The world's a much, much smaller place now. 30 years ago, I couldn't reach out and touch the United Nations. I can do that now in a heartbeat. So I'm not afraid of you either. And I've been warned that you can tie me up in court for 30 years without blinking. Well, I'll tell you what. Every time you call me, I'll come. I'll sit there. I'm not bringing in a lawyer. You're not going to break me. And at the end of the day, I'm going to sue you too if I need to. But we're going to have a lot of lawsuits coming out of this. And I want to end and go to the first commercial break with this with just saying this. I got a call from one of my Northside supporters today, and he said to me, in fact, he reprimanded me. He said, look, enough of Taylorism, enough of this governor and Beans and everybody else. Ezzard is a threat to Northside and this country. You need to get up here at Northside. We need to get these people out. We need to get the support base, and we need to rid ourselves of him in Parliament. So to that call, I know you're listening now. I can assure you that 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to give you a call. We'll get together. And we're going to start this journey, and we're going to make this happen. And we're going to take this seat from Ezzard Miller because, hey, Ezzard, you know what? You still need to answer for the writs, work permits. And that is going to go to senior officials overseas as well as to why the governor and David Beans has not charged you for it. So, ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the Joe Ebanks Radio Show. We're going to be right back. The number to call is 946-9898. That's 946-9898. And I'm going to take calls today. I had a guest lined up. He had to go to the chamber thing. And it's a good thing because now we can have some discussions. During my whole day, I managed to squeeze in some research that I want to talk about as well. And I hope you'll join me on that because I see this as serious future issues that are coming our way. So right now, we're going to go to the first commercial break, and don't change that dial. Don't let Taylorism scare you. Let's stay right here with 98.9. And okay, folks, you're right back here on Vibe 98.9 FM. Here on the Joe Ebanks Radio Show, and the number to call is 946-9898. Remember, we're on until 6 today. We'll have a 1-hour show, so you need to get those calls in. And you can also contact me on Facebook. I'm going to pull that up here real quick now so that you can start sending me messages on Facebook if you like. One of the things that I want to talk about, we have a caller? We have a caller, so let's go straight to the phone lines.
I just wanted to call and congratulate you for the show that you have on.
Thank you.
It's about time somebody gets out there and air everything that is going on.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your call.
Congratulations. And if you're guilty or not guilty, I'm behind you 110%.
Thank you,
because Cayman needs somebody like you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you for the support.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you very much for that call. I really appreciate that. We have another call? So one of the things that I'm concerned about, I did, while I was waiting today for my appointment with my brothers and sisters of the RCIP, I did a little research, and one of the things that I'm concerned about is our population. I took a look at the Economics and Statistics website, and I'm just going to read this down for you. From 45 to 54-year-olds, 17% of our population is in that age group. 45 to 54, that is. Then the next group, 35 to 44, is 23% of our population. And then the 25 to 34 is 18%, and 15 to 24 is 10%. So as you can see, the younger generation percentage is dropping. And I can tell you that even below the 15 to 24, there's even further shrinkage there. And as long as we're in this economic climate, and as long as people are struggling economically, it's going to further shrink. So looking out the next 10 to 20 years, we're going to have some issues in this country with being able to provide human capital. And this is a very, very serious issue. An issue that we can't sit around and wait till it happens to start talking about it and taking action. Now, one of two things has to happen, or maybe even both, depending on how bad it gets. So here's what I'm saying. If our economy remains the same, just as it is now, for the next 20 years, there's no growth, we're going to have a shortage of human capital. If it increases, we're definitely going to have a serious problem. So we need to take a look at the retirement age. And what I'm saying is, I'm not saying that it should be raised. I'm saying it needs to be optional for all workers. People need to be given the option of whether or not they're going to retire. And here's what how I'm proposing this should be drafted as a policy. That if the person is healthy and strong and capable, they should be able to pass a medical, of course, and be able to continue working if they choose. And naturally, that organization in keeping them is keeping that experience that they already have, so that they can continue to work until they're ready to retire. And then they can provide sufficient notice to the firm when they're getting close and they say, you know what, I've had enough. I want to go home now. I want to go have some fun. But not make it mandatory that they must retire at 60 or 65. And then the second option is, to do that well, we need right now to change the education curriculum. We need to identify what those key industries are going to be. And we need to start retooling our workforce right now. We're falling behind. This should have happened in this term. This should be going on right now. But we have a caller on the line. I'm going to go straight to the phone lines. Hi, good evening, caller. Thank you for your call.
Good evening, Mr. Joey.
Hi.
Yes. I was looking yesterday. I did make a call to the panel, and I was looking at how much the previous government, the one before this one, spend in the two schools, the PPM government, how much they spend in the two schools. And it is 200 million CI. That's 250 million US dollars. And I calculate that toward every Caymanian individual will receive 11,363 US dollars.
Yes.
Every child, every adult, everyone.
Yeah.
It will solve all the Caymanian people financial problems. That's one. The second issue, they are charging or looking to charge Joey Ebanks for 10,000 or 5,000, but they not ever investigate Hassan Saeed,
right,
who thief over 350,000 CI dollar. That's almost $500,000 US dollar.
Yeah.
And I look at the judgment, which the court, somebody who's, I think, American or British, thief $5 million, and he get 5 years. So he get a reward, $1 million, the one thief the pension, $1 million for each year. So he will get away with $5 million, spend a nice time in Northward prison, eat Burger King and KFC, and the country spend their money in him, and then he will leave the country with $5 million.
Yeah. Sorry, caller, but just to go back to as well to the expenditures that occurred by the last administration with the schools and the roads, because one of the things I heard Ard McLean on his talk show on Tuesday morning talking about is that the country needs to vote for people who will not spend the money and cause taxes to increase. But I mean, this guy spent, I'm not sure if anyone has quantified the amount of money spent on roads during his term as the minister yet. Not one number has emerged as this is what the total road infrastructure has cost. Was it necessary? Sure, but the point is you did spend this money and cause a huge amount of money, expenditure on the country. Secondly, you have to remember that the people need to know that with the case with Dan Scott and Ernest & Young and the assets that were settled out of court, there is a second lawsuit against the Attorney General's office. I have to get that. I've been told how much that is. I'm waiting to see it in writing with an official document. Those of you who go on my Facebook page, you know I don't put stuff up that I write. I take snapshots of where the evidence is coming from and I put it up there. So this, I've been told, is going to be somewhere in the region of 20 million as well. So the people of this country need to understand that this mistake is going to cost them whatever that settlement is between the guy Louis Rowe and the Attorney General's office. So I have to confirm what that amount is. All I saw was that there was a lawsuit. Whether or not it has gone forward, been settled, I'm not sure yet. But I will find that out. I was told it's somewhere in the region of 20 million. So this is going to be, this mistake is actually going to be on the backs of the taxpayers in this country.
Yeah, you see, Joey, it is very sad when I see the Caymanian people, some of them, unfortunately, they are standing against their own. But
yes.
Nobody opened his mouth until this commissioner of police, where is those 3 vehicles being stolen from the police? A bike, which is cost, I don't know, 25,000 or more. A car, which is the fingerprinting, the one they do the fingerprinting and stuff. 100 and something 60,000 cost with the equipment.
Yeah.
Another car being stolen, I've been told is 3, is not 2, it's 3. And those cost over $500,000.
And these are police. This is police property.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Because I heard about one. I was told recently about one. No. I mean, I was told recently that there's a rumor where one showed up. I mean, I saw an article in the newspaper some time back, or heard David on the radio saying that no one better accuse him of certain things, or that he's going to sue. Well, you sue. You know, you can't go and tell people what they can and can't say in their own country, dude. You're just a visitor here. You're not.
It seems we are in a dictatorship.
Yeah, it is. It is dictatorship because people want to silence the media, silence politicians, and say what we say. And listen, he needs to sit down and shut up, sit back there and do his job. If he was doing his job, Ezra would have been arrested by now or something for those Ritz-Carlton work permits.
No, I will ask you this. You remember this girl missing the Halloween, the one in the Caribbean country, right?
Right.
All over the world, media and news networks been talking about, because what? She American.
Yes.
But there is now Caymanians being missing.
Yes.
Somebody disappear, human disappear. The woman by the dump.
Yeah.
What is this man?
What has he done?
Police have to tell to her kids.
Yeah. I mean,
if it's my wife, I will not stop day and night. I'll stand in front of his office.
Yeah.
And the man walking in the beach, and another woman, she just leave the supermarket. It could happen to any woman, Caymanian woman. I am asking the Caymanian people, why you are silent about this?
Yeah.
Why you are silent?
Too silent.
Seems some people, their tongue gonna rotten in their mouth. It needs cut because they don't use it.
Yeah.
They don't use it. They are getting coward, and they are afraid to speak. Why? What is the commissioner of police will do you? What is the governor will do you? He can't do you. Don't tell lie in him.
That's
he
right.
He can't do you anything.
That's
tell
right.
the truth.
Tell the truth.
What is happening in this country.
Tell the truth.
It is a disgrace when humans being missing.
Yeah.
And
that's right.
Vehicles
and forgotten.
Being
missing and forgotten, you know?
Yes. It is, he is now in Dubai, our commissioner in Dubai, partying, and I've been told he is partying and enjoying himself in Dubai. And now he just leave this country in a limbo about this, if you serve food or you don't serve food. And
he messed that up too.
Of who he vocation and who.
Yeah.
I've been told also there's a party was in the governor house some couple weeks ago, and over 100 people was there. But when McKeever Bush go visit somebody birthday party, they say, oh, this is
It's corruption. It's corruption. It's corruption.
It's corruption. It is because it's easy to hit hit a Caymanian.
Here's another very obvious thing, right? Look at who they're arresting, which candidates they're arresting, which candidates they're harassing, which candidates they're charging and trying to beat down. It's the ones who are socially responsible, the grassroots ones. Now, I don't know about anybody else out there, but I need someone to identify one person in the history who was rich and got rich by being and doing everything perfect. I don't know any rich people that didn't do what it took to get there. You know what? Many of us are poor because we refuse to do some of those things. We just say, no, we're not doing that. You know, we're not stepping that far beyond the line.
You see, I come to this country, trust me, I could leave tomorrow. But this is the country of my daughter, where she born and where she will grow and where her future will be. And I'm defending her future.
Yeah.
I'm standing for my daughter's future. I'm not standing for me, you know.
Yes, I agree.
I can go to my country any day.
Yeah.
But trust me, I care about this country as it is my own. And I feel sad when the Caymanian people silent. They're not talking. They're not saying anything. You see the unemployment. You see a human resource manager in a big hotel like the Ritz-Carlton, and they employing everyday people, and there is 2,500 Caymanians sitting out of work.
That's right.
What a disgrace!
Yeah, and the thing is that you know, I really do believe we've reached a point where, you know, complaining in silence in little groups isn't working, folks. It's just making us angry, and we need now to voice it. This Joey Ebanks radio show is a choice for that. I mean, I'm not saying that we should go and burn anything down or be violent, but I'm saying that we can make it known now that we intend to take action on May the 22nd. And it's one time that we're going to do it, but we're going to be a voice now. We're going to start speaking out about things that we find wrong. And we're not going to have anyone convince us that we have misinterpreted what has occurred, because that's not true. That's just a great way of convincing you that you need to live with it. We need to stop it now. We need to end it. We need to stop the interference from outsiders who come in here and fill senior positions. We need to stop the inequitable distribution of wealth in this country, because we can't keep growing our poor base. We have to protect our middle class. We have to strengthen it. And we have to get it back so that we can get our country back and start moving it forward. And there's no doubt in my mind that we're going to have to work together with many foreigners too. There are foreigners here who are good people, okay? Not all foreigners are bad people. There are foreigners here who love this country and love the Caymanian people and want nothing but the best from them. And it's not from any particular country either. They come from various countries. And they love this place. They want what they came here and found, and they want the people left alone too. They want the people to be free. And they want the people to be able to enjoy their country, and they want to live with us. So it's not all bad. And we have got to unify on this now and stop the division. Don't let them divide us anymore. I saw a young man at the police station waiting on bail, and, you know, you could see the anger. I mean, he wouldn't smile. I turned to him and I said, you know, when they took your smile, they won. And he looked at me and said, you know, you're right. I said, yeah, you gave him your smile, man. You know, whatever your problems are, don't make them take that from you. Don't make them take your soul and drag it into hell with them. You got to hold on, and you got to fight. You got to learn to change certain things, and you got to move on. And you've got to keep your smile. You got to say hello and good morning to people, even if they don't like you. I still say it, and I say hi, and they cut their eye at me, and that's fine. And I like, hey, that's okay.
I tell you a story happened just couple of days.
You got to make it short for my caller.
Short,
I need to take a break, okay? Yeah. Mandatory break.
Right.
Okay.
Because I am outspoken, right?
Yeah.
And I've been, I see two police officers. I was in the coffee shop around 9:30 in the morning, and I see those two police officers park the police car, come into the coffee shop, and I look at my watch. It is 9:30. So I ask the person working the coffee shop, sir, it is 9:30, right?
Mm-hmm.
I said to myself, how the police is here buying coffee and want to eat breakfast, and it is 9:30. They should be at work. They should be working. So when I told that to the person working in the coffee shop, they overhear me. They turn and say, "Oh, okay, we going," and they leave the coffee shop because they know this is the Jordanian, and the Jordanian will never afraid to tell about them. I'm not afraid of them, but I will tell you, a lot of them. You go to that coffee shop in the Marquise, and you see those two police officers with the bikes. Every day from 9 o'clock until 11 o'clock or 10:30 is down there drinking coffee and smoking cigarettes in the corner between that little burger place and the coffee shop.
Yeah, and just to put this in perspective, caller, while we still have people missing, we can't afford those resources to be sitting down and riding around on bikes. You need to go and investigate. You need to allocate and find and help us find our loved ones to get some resolve to what's going on. We just can't forget these people. These people have families. They're still in mourning. It's even worse when they have no conclusion. What happened? They need that so that they can mourn and understand what occurred to their loved ones. So, it's just not. We're not going to put up with that anymore. You need to get to work.
Another police officer in Grand Harbor, there is a school in the back of Hurley's supermarket. I see a police officer come and pick his kids with a police car.
And grocery shopping, but I'm not. Remember, the police are my brothers and sisters.
And all of that.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
This is an expense of the Caymanian people.
Yes. It's bad leadership. It's a bad leader. They have a bad leader, and the leader needs to go home. And we need to get a new leader in who's interested in helping us fight crime and return our country. But calling it a leader, they're going to have to take a break. I'm getting some bad eyes here, so I got to take a break. Ladies and gentlemen, don't leave. Don't touch that dial. Stay tuned to 98.9. You're right here on the Joe Ebanks Radio Show on Vibe 98.9 FM.
CIBC First Caribbean has just made business more rewarding. Our new Bizline Visa credit card gives you...
And forgotten. Missing and forgotten,
Yes. It is. He is now in Dubai. Our commissioner in Dubai, partying, and I've been told he's partying and enjoying himself in Dubai. And now he just leave this country in a limbo about this. If you serve food or you don't serve food. And
he messed that up too.
Of who he vocation and who.
Yeah.
I've been told also there's a party was in the governor house some couple weeks ago, and over 100 people was there. But when McKeever Bush go visit somebody birthday party, they say, "Oh, this is
it's corruption. It's corruption. It's corruption."
It's corruption. It is because it's easy to hit hit a Caymanian.
Here's another very obvious thing, right? Look at who they're arresting, which candidates they're arresting, which candidates they're harassing, which candidates they're charging and trying to beat down. It's the ones who are socially responsible, the grassroots ones. Now, I don't know about anybody else out there, but I need someone to identify one person in the history who was rich and got rich by being and doing everything perfect. I don't know any rich people that didn't do what it took to get there. You know what? Many of us are poor because we refuse to do some of those things. We just say, no, we're not doing that. We're not stepping that far beyond the line.
You see, I come to this country. Trust me, I could leave tomorrow. But this is the country of my daughter, where she born and where she will grow and where her future will be. And I'm defending her future.
Yeah.
I'm standing for my daughter's future. I'm not standing for me,
Yes, I agree.
I can go to my country any day.
Yeah.
But trust me, I care about this country as it is my own. And I feel sad when the Caymanian people silent. They're not talking. They're not saying anything. You see the unemployment. You see a human resource manager in a big hotel like the Ritz-Carlton, and they're employing everyday people, and there is 2,500 Caymanians sitting out of work.
That's right.
What a disgrace!
Yeah, and the thing is that I really do believe we've reached a point where complaining in silence in little groups isn't working, folks. It's just making us angry, And we need now to voice it. This Joey Ebanks radio show is a choice for that. I mean, I'm not saying that we should go and burn anything down or be violent, but I'm saying that we can make it known now that we intend to take action on May the 22nd. And it's one time that we're going to do it, but we're going to be a voice now. We're going to start speaking out about things that we find wrong. And we're not going to have anyone convince us that we have misinterpreted what has occurred, because that's not true. That's just a great way of convincing you that you need to live with it. We need to stop it now. We need to end it. We need to stop the interference from outsiders who come in here and fill senior positions. We need to stop the inequitable distribution of wealth in this country, because we can't keep growing our poor base. We have to protect our middle class. We have to strengthen it. And we have to get it back so that we can get our country back and start moving it forward. And there's no doubt in my mind that we're going to have to work together with many foreigners too. There are foreigners here who are good people, okay? Not all foreigners are bad people. There are foreigners here who love this country and love the Caymanian people and want nothing but the best from them. And it's not from any particular country either. They come from various countries. And they love this place. They want what they came here and found, and they want the people left alone too. They want the people to be free. And they want the people to be able to enjoy their country, and they want to live with us. So it's not all bad. And we have got to unify on this now and stop the division. Don't let them divide us anymore. I saw a young man at the police station waiting on bail, and, you know, you could see the anger. I mean, he wouldn't smile. I turned to him and I said, you know, when they took your smile, they won. And he looked at me and said, you know, you're right. I said, yeah, you gave him your smile, man. You know, whatever your problems are, don't make them take that from you. Don't make them take your soul and drag it into hell with them. You got to hold on, and you got to fight. You got to learn to change certain things, and you got to move on. And you've got to keep your smile. You got to say hello and good morning to people, even if they don't like you. I still say it, and I say hi, and they cut their eye at me, and that's fine. And I like, hey, that's okay.
I tell you a story happened just couple of days.
You got to make it short from a caller.
Yeah, short,
I need to take a break, okay? Yeah. Mandatory break.
Right.
Okay.
Because I am outspoken, right?
Yeah.
And I've been, I see two police officers. I was in the coffee shop around 9:30 in the morning, and I see those two police officers park the police car, come into the coffee shop, and I look at my watch. It is 9:30. So I ask the person working the coffee shop, sir, it is 9:30, right?
Mm-hmm.
I said to myself, how the police is here buying coffee and want to eat breakfast, and it is 9:30. They should be at work. They should be working. So when I told that to the person working in the coffee shop, they overhear me. They turn and say, oh, okay, we're going. And they leave the coffee shop. Because they know this is the Jordanian, and the Jordanian were never afraid to tell about them. I'm not afraid of them, but I will tell you, a lot of them. You go to that coffee shop in the Marquis, and you see those two police officers with the bikes. Mm-hmm. Every day from 9 o'clock until 11 o'clock or 10:30 is down there drinking coffee and smoking cigarettes in the corner between that little burger place and the coffee shop.
Yeah, and just to put this in perspective, caller, while we still have people missing, we can't afford those resources to be sitting down and riding around on bikes. You need to go and investigate. You need to allocate and find and help us find our loved ones to get some resolve to what's going on. We just can't forget these people. These people have families. They're still in mourning. It's even worse when they have no conclusion. What happened? They need that so that they can mourn and understand what occurred to their loved ones. So, it's just not, we're not going to put up with that anymore. You need to get to work.
Another police officer in Grand Harbor, there is a school in the back of Hurley's supermarket. I see a police officer come and pick his kids with a police car.
And grocery shopping, but I'm not. Remember, the police are my brothers and sisters.
All of that.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
This is an expense of the Caymanian people.
Yes. It's bad leadership. It's a bad leader. They have a bad leader, and the leader needs to go home. And we need to get a new leader in who's interested in helping us fight crime and return our country. But Colin, you need to leave, but I'm going to have to take a break. I'm getting some bad eyes here, so I got to take a break. Ladies and gentlemen, don't leave. Don't touch that dial. Stay tuned to 98.9. You're right here on the Joe Ebanks Radio Show on Vibe 98.9 FM.
CIBC First Caribbean has just made business more rewarding. Our new Bizline Visa credit card gives your business the flexibility you need and the rewards you deserve. Every dollar you spend, it earns points that can be turned into unlimited rewards, such as airline tickets, merchandise, or cash back to your account. No other card offers so many benefits and rewards. Get the best deal for your business. Apply for your Bizline Visa card today and receive a welcome bonus of 5,000 reward points. CIBC First Caribbean, for what matters.
Automotive art, your car, our passion. When you're shopping for your car, is where you start. We got it all at Automotive art. Tires, rims, and accessories. Everything your car needs. We're the Automotive Superstore and more. Automotive art, your car, our passion. Automotive art.
Let's get ready to rumble!
On the Gaza, we sell life over there.
When me say uno fiesta a Gaza, me say
Gaza Wednesdays HD at Ultra Lounge. Cayman's Maddie's midweek party spot. They got 2-for-1 mixed drink, $4 shots and $2 beers from 8 to 10. And you will be entertained by 5 DJs under one roof. Music provided by DJ Bubbles, Bubba Styles, 6 Killer, Rollers International, and DJ Esteban. Mixing the best in hip-hop, reggae, soca, Latin, R&B, disco, and top 40s. So make it Gaza Wednesdays, each and every Wednesday at Ultra Lounge.
Gaza forever.
Nectar Nightclub is open earlier for private functions only. Now open from 10 till 3, Monday through Thursday, and from 8 till 3 on Friday. Saturday and Sundays, 8 p.m. till 12 midnight. Wednesday is DJ Juice Miercolazo night with 3, 4, 5, $3 beer, $4 shot, and $5 mixed drinks from 10 to 11.
Y les recuerdo, hoy miércoles soy yo, DJ Juice, en el mix, presentando 345, cerveza solo $3, shot solo $4 y tragos mixtos solo $5.
Nectar Nightclub.
The Department of Commerce and Investment has organized the first National Small Business Expo and Reception to celebrate Cayman's Entrepreneurship Day, Thursday, April 11th at the Family Life Center in South Sound, just off Walker's Road, as part of World Entrepreneurship Day 2013. Hosted by Richie Barton, the event commences at 9 a.m. and includes a combination of workshops, presentations, and speakers, showcasing local entrepreneurs, their knowledge, and their businesses. During the event, budding entrepreneurs, students, and the general public will be able to meet with successful local business owners, present products and ideas to potential investors and consultants, become more informed and inspired regarding their own small business dreams. The conclusion of the Small Business Expo at 5:30 will be addressed by a Caymanian businessman well-versed in small business entrepreneurship, with over 40 years building and growing a single small business into a large and expanding, multifaceted and diversified group of companies with over 40 separate entities. The Department of Commerce and Investment Small Business Expo keynote speaker will be Mr. Kent Rankin, CEO and President of Paramount Group of Companies and founder of Paramount Carpets in 1967.
I'm not afraid to take a stand.
All right, folks, we're back for the final segment of this 1-hour show of the Joe Ebanks Radio Show today. And I just got a text from someone that says, I can't believe it's I was unaware of this, that I must not forget that the commissioner brought his ex-boss from the UK here to be his deputy. And that's from the Tempura trial. Wow. We can't see the Tempura file that we paid for, but we can have the commissioner bring in his ex-boss and buddy to be his deputy and prevent a Caymanian like Marlon Borden or one of those other guys from being deputy commissioner. And we sit back and we let this happen and we say nothing. We talk about it in little groups. You know, folks, this is part of what we have to stop, you know. We just can't let this go on, because when we do this, when we allow our fellow Caymanian to be disenfranchised and not allowed opportunities to progress and move up the ladder in their organizations, it's going to happen across all women. This is not just going to happen in RCIP. You know, once it gets away in one, it trickles into the other. The country's just too small. This kind of a group sticks together. They're in small, little, tight-knit knit tight groups that keep us out. So we got to fight for one another. A fine example of this was during the RCIP investigation, the whole Tempura thing, where we had three deputy commissioners. We had an English deputy commissioner, we had a Jamaican origin deputy commissioner, and we had a Caymanian deputy commissioner. All three were suspended. Now, immediately, those segments got together and helped each other, except the Cayman one. We, the Caymanian people, we dumped Rudolph Dixon out there to dry, and we did not support him. And we were wrong, we were wrong, we were wrong. We did him wrong. And I'm telling you, as far as I'm concerned, I believe that Anthony Ennis is a good man. I have never had any issue with him and his professionalism. I don't know, I really can't see how we could let this commissioner bring in his buddy or previous boss to work for him. How does that work? I mean, 1 minute you're reporting to this guy in one location, next minute he's over here reporting to you. Now, show me how you have this country's best interests at heart when you do that. Let me tell you all something that is a standard in every single major and well-run company globally. When there is a change, succession planning occurs, and you have 2 or 3, 4 people who are vying for the CEO position because the CEO is retiring. They compete for that, and once a decision is made by the board, one person is given that, and the other 3 have to go. They will not allow them to stay there because they'll sabotage the organization on personal vendettas. So they remove them and they transfer them to other subsidiaries and companies that they have in different jurisdictions to allow the new leader to build his team without interference. So here we are, we're accepting David bringing his previous boss into our country to be his deputy so they can all make a little money and go back home. In the meantime, we have loved ones and family members who've been missing for years, missing for months, and nothing's going on. We have these silly lawsuits coming from Taylor and a bunch of them and third charges against me. I'm even charged for a check. That isn't even in my name, doesn't have my signature on it, doesn't have my name anyway on it. And they're charging me and saying that, you're going to be charged with this one too. I'm being charged with text messages. I mean, come on. I'm the managing director of an organization, and I'm being charged for text messaging. Oh, you had too much text messages. I want to see what Taylor's text messages are. I want to see what his roaming charges are. Because if his roaming charges are not less than mine every month, you can't put this on this paper. You can't charge me for this. Because I'm entitled to more than him. But don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, give us a call. It's 946-9898. You're listening to the Joe Ebanks radio show. Let's talk about anything because nothing's off the table, you know. We can chat about anything. I was speaking earlier about the problem I see in the future with our labor, with the population being reduced. You have to remember that as we stay, the longer we stay in the recession and things are really tight, people are going to have less and less children. So it is key and it is important that we resolve this future potential labor problem that we're facing. And I've heard some of the candidates speak to sustainable development. And when we talk about sustainable development, this is how we have to develop. So if we really wanted sustainable development, this population issue has to be part of the equation. And literally we would have to not have projects if that's the case. And what that will result in is further downturn in the whole economic climate. One thing you must remember is that the population drives the economic growth and the economic outcome. So people spend money and people have consumption, and that's what drives the economy and creates job security, really. So this is an issue I believe that we have to face at some time. We have to start addressing it. It's urgent. This is an urgent thing. You can't fix these things overnight. You have to begin to do so very, very quickly. Otherwise, it's going to cause us a huge problem down the road. And one of the other areas that I looked at from the statistics office was that of teenage pregnancy. I looked at teenage pregnancy from the statistics office, and it literally makes up the lowest percentage. So live births by age of mother is 6% of it of the live births are from 15 to 19-year-olds. And then there's 18% for the 20 to 24-year-olds, 20% or 21% for 25 to 29, 32% for 30 to 34-year-olds, and then 17% for 35 to 39. So we do have a mature by age sector and population that is where the majority of live births are occurring. So while I'm not downplaying the fact that 6% is high for 15 to 19-year-olds, it is something we have to address. But single moms is the big thing that I think we need to seriously look at how we're going to resolve, because this is a major issue, and that it makes up 30% of live births. And these are single moms, meaning never married, so they're alone. And then there's some from annulled marriages and separations and so on too. But the 63% of the live births are with married couples. So while that's the majority, we do have 30% that is in there for single moms. And this means that we just need to tailor some of our policies to make sure that they can enjoy life and be good moms too, and move it forward. And we can address the prevention in a different way. I don't think it can ever be prevented, really. It's been with us for a very long time, and it's going to be with us for a very long time. So one other area that I looked at was the dramatic increase in our population that occurred between 1970 and currently. So in 1970, we had a population of 10,000 people, and today we have 55,000 people. So we're looking at 45,000 people over 14, 15 years, and that's a massive increase. And it's a massive increase as a result of our economic growth and the importation of labor and those areas. Now, if this fell away and fell back to, say, 16,000 or even 25,000, what we would have is the supermarkets are built for that 55,000. They would immediately need to start cutting staff, and they would need businesses across the island would have to start cutting back, which in fact would further increase unemployment. Even if we move the people on work permits off island, it would impact the residents on island. So there is a delicate balance we have to take, and an approach as we well thought out, so that we can get this right and decide where we want to be in 20 years, where we want to be in 10 years, and slowly progress to that. So we have a lot of issues on the table, and I've been one of those people who've rarely, in previous elections, I've always said, hey, we're not at crossroads yet, and we weren't. The economy was good, things were moving forward, and we were not at crossroads because people were working and everything was moving forward. But we really are today. Today we really are at crossroads for a number of things. We have too much interference from the governor's office. We need to take the judiciary and move it away from this governor and a future governor. We need to take that judiciary and let it be absolutely and totally independent and provide them with a budget. We need to make sure this happens so that there can be no interference. And we need to ensure that we make pro bono mandatory from every single attorney in this country. Once they become an attorney, they must provide so many hours of free service and access so that poor people, people who need assistance with legal advice and legal support, can access that advice. Justice cannot be for those who can afford it. It must be for the poorest of the poor to have access, and that's where pro bono work comes in, and government policies. When we do that, we create an environment where no one gets a chance to disenfranchise the other, take advantage of the other. Yeah, there's still going to be people there. Those vultures and predators don't go away, They just adapt and find new ways to do it. But we make it a little bit harder for them to do that. But more importantly, when you add the freedom of speech, and when you exercise the use of that freedom of speech, you then begin to truly remove the opportunities for them to be able to prey on us, and create opportunities so that we can take advantage and be able to gain some wealth here too. And the area of wealth, I've said this repeatedly for many, many years, is that we Caymanians, we've been economic spectators, not economic participants. We don't own enough. We need to have our Caymanian people owning more, taking advantage of more opportunities. And I know that not everyone wants to, But there are those who do, and there are those who obstacles have been put in place to prevent them from having that. And there are those who just need some help to get to the next level. There are no obstacles, but they need some help. So we need to facilitate some of this. And one of the areas that I've been advocating for us to do that with is that of the residential solar program that I've been proposing and pushing and asking the public to please call the radio shows and write letters and push and make a lot of noise about. If we get this in place, we're talking about 4 megawatts of solar that can impact every single poor person and middle-class person in this country. You get solar panels on your roof. The company installs them. They pay you to lease the space that they're placing them. You get a percentage that every month. That's new money coming into your household. Once they have been repaid, you get the solar panels for free, and the contract obligates them to do the maintenance on the solar panels until they leave. So it's a way of arming the populace with access to solar and renewable energy to help bring down their costs. And this is one of the initiatives that CUC and I agreed on without any hesitation. CUC was on board. They did a little bit more in that. They even went as far as to draft one of the contracts, partially draft one of the contracts, that allowed this to actually occur quite quickly. Right now, it's stuck with the ERA board, who keeps asking for more and more information, and really all they're really doing is delaying it and trying to prevent the public from getting access to a little bit of free money and an opportunity. And it's the typical thing, you know. This initially came when the past premier asked me to look at a solution. I put together the solution for him being the solar. England denied it in his budget and would not let him borrow the $15 million to do it. So he came back to me and said, you know, how can we make this work? I re-looked at it. A private group out of Canada, they invited me up. They offered to pay for all of it, providing I could show them and guarantee them that they would get their money back. They don't care who gets solar panels. They just want to make sure solar is introduced here. They were watching the whole discussion in the newspaper. Now, bear in mind, folks, when England denied this $15 million, they were doing the same thing in England. Obama is still doing the same thing in the United States. It's being done in Canada. It's being done across Europe. I didn't go and invent anything there. What I had to do was take some pieces, bits and pieces of various programs and fit them into this unique program here in Cayman, where the third party and the leasing as well as our core program fit together. And that's all we did. Really, I just matched some systems together to ensure that poor people and the middle class and people, residential people in general, could get some relief from this, the burden of the fossil fuel costs. And in so doing, they got solar panels as well. Now, once that investor had got their money back and the panels were handed over in good condition, the homeowners can then begin to add panels to it, and reduce their costs and begin to have more disposable income. Folks, we could have had this going. No. This could have been in place right now. We could have been installing solar panels now had the ERA board just simply approved this thing the other day when it was there on the table. But what I suspect is going to happen eventually is that these investors are just going to walk away because it's just too many delays. Here are people offering us money, but they want their money back, plus a little profit, which I didn't want to deny them. Certainly they should get a profit. But the opportunity was there for single moms, for senior citizens, for Caymanians in general at their homes to be able to get an extra new income coming into their household every single month. And that opportunity is being blocked by speculation and, we don't understand how this works. And this is the one where the chair asked me to help her draft the board agenda. And, this is one of the things in my case that baffles me. Here I am, I've been suspended. The board is saying, he needs to be investigated. I've been arrested, I've been bailed, and then I get a request by email to come and please help set the agenda. I'm not sure about you guys, but I can tell you I've never heard anything so ludicrous in all my life. And this is one of the things why Taylor and David and everybody else understands they don't really have a case against me. So they're creating everything they can find because they want to be able to drag me through the mud, through the election with all these charges and make me out to be a bad man to try and get the real bad man, Ezra Miller Northside, elected. And quite frankly, you know, based on what I'm hearing, the guy is just not disliked in Northside. He's disliked nationally now. People are fed up with him. They're fed up with politicians who are elected and spend all their time on a radio show as a radio host. Not just during election time. They're doing it all year long, throughout while they're employed as a politician and doing nothing for their constituency. And that's what happened to Ezra Norton. They did nothing. They sat back and waited till election time. They're incumbents. They're the ones who were supposed to provide. Those are the two that needs to be punished by their constituency if their life is not better under them. Simple as that. And they cannot use the excuse that, oh, we didn't have cabinet and McKeever wouldn't give us any money and the UDP wouldn't give us any money, because the Constitution makes it clear. At the beginning of every single financial year, those two constituencies and any other independent elected member is allowed time by cabinet to make a presentation and to get whatever the rest is getting for their constituent. They just didn't show up. They were busy doing other things. I don't know what they were doing. One, making sure his wife looks pretty, driving around a Hummer. And I don't know what the other guy was doing, just driving around, I guess. But folks, that's the show for today. My name is Joe Ebanks, and this is the Joe Ebanks Radio Show. I'm going to be back here tomorrow at 5, again for another hour. Friday is my day off, but I'm also going to be to that caller who called me from Northside today. I'm going to call you all in the morning at 8. You and I are going to get together, and we're going to start pounding the street again, making sure we get our information out there and making sure we win some votes. And folks in Northside that have been calling me and saying you're going to support me and saying how happy you are that I'm running, I just want to say thank you very much. To the other people around the island who's saying, hey man, we're calling people in Northside, we know we want to see you elected, I'm saying thank you, because it's time for us to make a difference, but we have to do it together, not just getting elected. Thank you all for tuning in. I'll see you back here tomorrow at 5. And remember, you can always ping me on Facebook, because you guys know I love Facebook.